YouTube, what is good? It's your boy Dre, and I'm back with another video. And as you can see, I'm in my pajamas, alright? Because sometimes you have to know when to take it easy. So this morning I spent my morning editing this video so I can go ahead and get it to you guys. And I'm super excited because in this haircut, it was a haircut that I used to struggle with, right? It comes in with super long hair, and I know I'm gonna have to do scissor work, and I would get overwhelmed. So today I'm gonna try my best to walk you through how to go from him looking like this to him looking like this. So I'm super excited. Stick with me. Let's get it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill. I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about it. I'm today's trending topic.
So to start off this cut, I went ahead and dampened his hair very well. I didn't get that recorded, but after we have it nice and damp, we're gonna go ahead and create 3 sections. One on the left side of his head, one in the middle, and then one on the right side of his head. And you wanna make sure that that middle section is like directly between his eyebrows, and you can use that kind of as like a reference point when creating these sections. And now we're gonna go ahead and lift up that middle section, and we're gonna be taking off, I think that's about an inch, and we're gonna follow this all the way back. And this is gonna be the guideline when trimming the rest of the hair. After we follow that all the way back, we're gonna go ahead and comb that middle section to the right. And now we're going to take horizontal sections using that middle section that we just cut as our reference point. So as you can see right there, we're going to go ahead and cut everything to that length. And we're going to do this all the way to the front of the head. And I found this system to be the easiest to learn, especially when you first start off. Now we're going to take another section and cut everything to that length. And what I noticed is I could have made these sections a lot smaller since his hair isn't super long. But we go back and cross check anyway. So we're gonna make sure all this is even. And you can see this system is very efficient. Now we're gonna comb that all over to the right, and now we're gonna go ahead and take a portion of that and comb that over to the left side. And I'm trying to make sure that these sections are symmetrical and as clean as possible, so that way we stay nice and organized. And now with that piece that we just combed over to his left, we're going to use that as our reference point on this side. And this is going to allow us to get a nice even cut. And when I'm trimming, I'm making sure that my fingers are straight across. I'm not slanting downwards as I get towards the sides of his head. I'm making sure that I'm staying level throughout the entire head. And what I found when using this system is naturally it will allow the front to be longer than the back, so it'll gradually get shorter towards the back, which I found allowed the hair to lay down a lot nicer. And now we're gonna go ahead and take a portion of that and pull that forward to make sure that his fringe is even. And now we're gonna go ahead and point cut that instead of going straight across, because I don't want to make it look like a lineup. I want it to be a more soft, natural look. And now we're gonna go ahead and blow dry his hair. And this isn't gonna be, you know, a finished blow drying style, but we're just trying to get the hair in somewhat of a style that he would wear on a normal basis. And we also want to get the hair dry as well. And now to get into the actual haircut on the sides, we're going to use our number 4 guard, and this will be the length of the sides that blends into the length on top. And you'll see as I get towards the back, I'm dropping it just a little bit because I don't want to cut into his crown area. And you'll see right there, I was going with the grain of his hair, which was backwards. Being very soft though, I'm not digging into the hair. I wanted to make sure that, you know, it just helped me blend down a little bit. coming off the shape of his head, not trying to dig into it too much. And I'm using the number 4 because he wanted the sides to be a lot shorter, but obviously I wanted it to remain dark, especially since we're going to do a taper. And I found that the number 4 guard worked perfect. Not trying to create this line too harsh. I wanted to just kind of blend as best as I can. And now to blend into that length on top, we're going to go ahead and use our thinning shears. And I'm coming in with my comb here and then flaring out slightly as I move up. And then any hair sticking out, I'll go ahead and attack with those shears. And this will allow this transition to be nice and soft as it blends into the top. As you can see already, it's starting to blend very nicely. And I'm just trying my best to blend this into the top. And so far it's coming together very nicely. And now we're going to go ahead and get into the taper. So with this taper, we're going to start where the eyebrow kind of ends, and then where the ear connects to the head. And then we're going to bald that out. Now we're going to grab our shaver to get it nice and close to the skin and really make that taper pop and last a little longer. And now we're going to go ahead and come in with our lever all the way open. And we're going to go up about a finger's width here, not too high up. We want to keep this taper fairly low. And I'm really using the corner of my blade just so I make sure I don't take off too much hair. And now to get rid of that line in between the bald and the open, I'm coming in closed. And as I move up, I'll go ahead and open up that lever until we get that line completely blended out. Then we grabbed our number 1 guard with the lever all the way open. And we're going to do the same exact thing, going up about a finger's width here using the corner of that blade. And you can see that number 1 is almost already blending into that 4 guard that we used to take down the sides. And that's because we're really utilizing that flick out motion. Now we're going to follow that up with the 2 guard all the way open. And this should pretty much blend into that 4 guard. So we're going to start off open here, and then we'll gradually close that lever. And that pretty much gets us to the system of the taper. And now we're going to come in with our half guard here just to detail it a little more. Really make that taper super clean. And I see some weight there towards the top, so I went ahead and grabbed my thinning shears once again. And we're just trying to soften everything up. To blend into the beard, it's the same exact steps, just in the opposite direction. So we're coming in with the lever open, and then close to open to take out that line. Now the 1 guard open. And it's basically just a taper downwards, essentially. Now this is our 1.5. And this should blend into the length that he has on the beard because he didn't want to take off any length. And that's it, fam. Super simple, easy. Now let's get into the neck taper. We're going to start off with that bald line just like we did on the sides. Starting right below the bottom of the ear. Letting the trimmer do the work. I don't want to cause any irritation on the client's skin or cause too much redness. Now we're going to use the shaver just to get it a little closer. And using the same system, we're going to come in with our lever all the way open. And we're going to give ourselves a little bit more width when creating these guidelines, because in the back we have a lot more surface area to work with. So now to get rid of that line, we're going to come in closed and then gradually open that lever as we move up towards the top of that guideline. And you can see right here, it's pretty much blended out. Then we're gonna slap on the number 1 guard all the way open and go up just a little more. This is about a full inch here. And you can see that the hair towards his right ear kind of grows towards the inside of his neck. So I'm making sure that I'm cutting against the grain right there. And the back of his head has a lot of dark spots. You can even see it through the number 4 guard. So we're trying to finesse it, you know what I'm saying, and get it as blended as we possibly can. You'll see it more towards the top of the taper where all the dark spots are. And now to get rid of this line between the open and the 1 open, we're coming in with our half guard here. And we went in closed and then gradually opened it. Now this is our 2 guard all the way open. And right there, you'll see me go right by his occipital bone and try to debulk it a little, but it is still dark, like I said. So we're going to try to finesse it a little and get it as blended as we possibly can. And then right there, I went ahead and closed that lever. Now right here, I grab my 1.5 guard to get rid of that line between the 1 open and the 2 open. And I'm just working at that line, trying to get it blended out. And we're just working here, figuring out what works and what doesn't, trying to detail this taper and get it the best looking that we can. Now I grabbed my 3 guards to go ahead and try to blend into that 4 a little better and get into those dark areas. And now we're going to go ahead and line up his nape area. So we're going to start at the top of his ear, trying to keep that as natural looking as possible. And now we're going to go to the bottom of his nape and connect those 2 points in the middle. And that would give us the most natural look, while at the same time getting it super clean. And that really makes the taper pop and bring everything together. And now for the lineup, I know a lot of people aren't going to be too fond of this, but this client in particular likes the lineup in the front, even though he does have long hair. So I'm lowering down those hairs in the front to a 2 guard. So that way when I go to line it up, it comes out nice and clean. So now we're going to start in the middle of his lineup and move towards his left side. Trying to keep this as natural as possible, while at the same time getting it as crispy and as clean as possible as well. And now for his arch, we're going to start at the top of his arch and then go to the bottom and meet it in the middle. And his arch isn't as dark as the rest of his hair. It's more blonde and lighter, so it's not super prominent. And then we're going to move towards his right side. Again, trying to keep it as symmetrical as possible. And now we're going to start at the top of the arch, go to the bottom and connect in the middle. And this gets you a little better view than the other side. And now to enhance the lineup just a little, we're going to go ahead and use some color enhancement. So I'm spraying on lightly, and then I'm going to take the card away. And if I need to make it darker, I'll go ahead and do that. But this is just going to really make his lineup pop, especially in those areas on his arch where it wasn't too dark. And right here, we're just cleaning up his mustache. And now we're going to go to the beard. So with the beard, we just cleaned up the back. Now we're going to go to the bottom. And this is really going to make his beard look a lot fuller. And I don't know about y'all, but that taper is popping. And now we're going to go ahead and hit his beard with the razor. So we're starting at the bottom of his beard. And now we're going to go to the top and connect those 2 points in the middle. Clean all those hairs at the top of the beard. And now we want to go ahead and brush away that initial ash line and reline it. just to ensure that we get the cleanest line that we possibly can. Now we're gonna hit his lineup, and this is really just making everything pop and look a lot sharper, a lot cleaner. Now we're gonna go ahead and use some matte clay and apply it to the top of his hair just to give it some style and a more polished look. And we're just working it in there. Now we're gonna comb it, try to fine tune it, give it more of a custom look. Alright fam, my man came in looking lost, but he left looking found. Family, if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. But again, I just want to thank you, family. I will catch y'all next time.